Okay, so what you're going to want to do is start with your graph paper. Obviously, this is not graph paper, but it's what I have right now. And you're going to take the grid and set your diameter. And once you set your diameter, go ahead and make 4 points like a compass. North, south, east, west, that kind of thing. And go ahead and draw your circle. Obviously, it should look better than that because you'll have actual graphing paper and a pencil. But basically, once you've done that, you're going to want to count up all the little grid squares. I picked 20 for the example problem that I put in the report because that's an easy number, and most standard graphing paper is like 4 squares to an inch or 5 squares to an inch, depending on what size you get. But if you count how many you have in there, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 complete squares. We'll call that about 75% of a square. So 3/4, which is 1.5. Another couple 3/4, which is also 1.5. Call that one about thirds. You've got 4 thirds. So just go ahead and start writing these down to the side. 4 whole squares. 4 times 0.75. 4 times 0.33. Then you've got, I'd say 4 more squares that are also probably about 3/4 of a square, and those, of course. You couldn't really even see that, I'm sorry. So now that you've got all your perimeter squares and your inside squares counted up, just go ahead and do your simple conversion math. And we've got 4 plus 3 plus 4 thirds plus another 3, so that's 11 1/3, or 11.33. So that's the number I came up with just adding up the squares in and of themselves. And that's what you'll record for how many squares you counted up. And after that, basically what you'll want to do is just use that calculation and figure out what that number is, and hopefully they'll be about the same number, if not exactly the same number. But they should be pretty close if you've done the experiment right. And basically the setup is just draw a circle on your graph paper, count all the squares inside of it, and count partial squares too. That's the main thing. A lot of people forget to count the partial squares and their number gets really off. So make sure you count those perimeter squares too, the ones that are actually touching the circle. So I hope that helps. Thanks for invading my Ask box. I'll upload a better version of this tomorrow where I have actual graphing paper, but if you need it for tomorrow, this is about the best I can do for right now. So thanks.